My name is Henry Clark, and this happened to my grandfather in 1974. He was the last full-time keeper of the Winslow Reef Light, just off the coast of Maine. He was an old Navy man, not one to scare easy. But what happened that winter changed him. He used to tell me about it when I was little, only when he'd had a few drinks. This is the version he gave me, the one he asked me never to write down until after he passed. He died in 2019. That season, he was stationed alone. Budget cuts had ended the rotation. He manned the light for 3 straight weeks, resupplied by boat every Monday. The tower had one odd feature, an old logbook, dating back to the 1800s. Every keeper had written in it, mostly weather notes, ship sightings, technical repairs. But as the pages went on, things got stranger. One night, snowed in, he started reading it by lantern. Entries from 1892 mentioned a woman. The widow, they called her. The notes got erratic. Mentions of hearing sobs in the stairwell, seeing a black veil through the fogged glass. One page simply read, "She's still waiting." He laughed it off until the 3rd night. He heard the crying. It came from the 2nd floor, a soft weeping, barely audible under the wind. He went up, thinking a radio had kicked on. But the room was dark, empty. He figured maybe it was the wind howling in the stairwell. Next night, it came again, louder. This time, he followed it. Every floor, it moved just ahead of him, leading him up, until he reached the beacon chamber, and the crying stopped. He told me he stood there in silence, heart pounding, then saw something in the glass, not inside, but reflected. A figure in a dark dress standing behind him. He spun around. Nothing there. He wanted to call it in, asked to be relieved, but knew no one would believe him, so he stayed. The next few nights were quiet. Then came the knock. 3 sharp knocks on the lower hatch door. At 2:13 a.m. He didn't answer. No boat was scheduled. The sea was frozen thick. He stayed on the upper floor, rifle in hand. Next night, it knocked again. Same time. Always 3 times. On the final night before pickup, he opened the door, rifle raised, nothing but snow. But there were boot prints, his own boot prints, leading away from the door, like he'd walked out and returned. But he hadn't. He'd been upstairs the whole night. When they came to relieve him, he didn't even pack. He just climbed into the boat and said, "She doesn't want company anymore." He never talked about it again. But when he died, we found something in his garage, the old logbook. He'd taken it, maybe to make sure no one else read what was inside. I flipped to the final page, his handwriting. "She waits by the light. She cries for the drowned. If you hear her, don't answer. If you see her, don't turn around.